Welcome back to another episode of Life in Sports Spotlight with Cameron Knox. And last week we weren't here, just a little scheduling conflicts, just school for me, work for Courtney. Hopefully we continue to get the episodes out, but the end of my semester is coming up. But we'll see. I mean, as you guys hopefully get this episode every week, it'll be a continued trend.
Mhm.
Anyways, uh, we're gonna start with something different. We're gonna go into NBA this week. We're obviously still hit college football and the NFL, but we're gonna talk first about the NBA. So the Cavs, took their first loss last night against the Celtics, but other than that, they really surprised me. Um,
Yeah, Donovan Mitchell's been going crazy.
yeah,
I can't really give you the numbers of what he's averaging right now, but he's been going crazy, and it's someone different every night. Like it'll be Donovan Mitchell and someone else. Like it's never like Donovan Mitchell and Darius Garland or like Donovan Mitchell and someone else. Like it's always Donovan Mitchell and someone else.
yeah,
So which is also a good thing, where he like they just don't have to depend on two superstars or two superstars to carry a team. Like they have multiple players that could get it done.
yeah, and their head coach first year, Kenny Atkinson, he was the Warriors assistant. Uh,
Yes.
I think a couple years ago, he actually took the Hornets job, but then came back, to the Warriors. I mean, I'm pretty sure he knew that probably wasn't a good fit for him, but he went back and now has a better job with, all-star caliber players with obviously Donovan Mitchell, Garland, Mobley, Allen,
Yeah.
and everybody else on that team. And, a good start, but they lose to the Celtics, which is the defending champs. And they've actually had I mean, I think they're winning record, obviously, but they've had a little up and down season. I think they've lost to the Warriors. I think a close game with the Nets, but they're still good. Tatum's looking like a top three
He's one of the
MVP candidate,
MVP right
or
now.
depending on who you ask. But I think right now, I
Go
mean,
ahead and say it. Go ahead and say it.
if he continues to do what he's doing at a dominant pace, if he's healthy, that's all we've all been wanting his whole career is Anthony Davis. So I really love that. I mean, I have no hate to Anthony Davis, or I've always loved him because I know how dominant he is, but
Mhm.
it's just the healthy factor.
Yeah, it's just him staying healthy. Um, day night out, he's always putting up what 30 something plus,
Yeah,
and which is always. I feel like that's what the Lakers always needed was for him to perform how he is this season. Try to take some of that stress off of LeBron. So now that AD's healthy and he's playing really well, now it's like people are trying to say that LeBron is washed
yeah,
because his numbers aren't as high as they used to be because now you have Anthony Davis, you have Rui Hachimura, you have Austin Reeves, and so happened last night the rookie Dalton Connect scores 21 in the third quarter, ended
yeah,
up with 37 points. So now LeBron doesn't have to do as much. He can contribute. And at one point, he had like four triple doubles in four nights straight, like 4 games straight.
yeah.
So now he just contributing more. He doesn't always have to score, but he could pass the ball and rebound as well.
Yeah, I mean that's the best part about like getting JJ Redick. He unlocks
Mhm.
everything Anthony Davis needed, and I just think with Frank Vogel, that helped him defensively. Obviously, like he was a defensive animal. That was perfect for him. Darvin Ham, he just looked so out of
It was
place.
like it wasn't like it was at a point where it's like, what type of coach is this? He's not a defensive minded coach.
Yeah,
He's not like
they're not scoring. They're just
Like
letting
you're not
LeBron down.
scoring, you're not
Yeah,
moving the ball. It was like it was at one point where it was like he's playing his favorites.
yeah,
You're not playing anyone that's gonna win you a basketball game.
yeah. And JJ Redick, obviously, I think great hire. He's going to be there for years to come. Anthony Davis is going to be that guy. Don Connect, Austin Reeves, as LeBron, you
Mhm.
know, moves along. But going back, that's the MVP. But Rookie of the Year, like you mentioned, Don Connect. But I think
It's
just
a
with
lot
the
of great talent.
consistency, so far early season, I think it's Jared McCain. Um, but I think he got, I'm not saying Don connects. He wasn't given like early opportunities. Jared kind of wasn't either. But now that Maxi's out, Paul
I'm gonna say
George
it's
is in and
so
out. I
unfortunate.
think he's out now again. I think he got hurt today. Um, and then Lowry, he's old. Eric, like so, you're gonna play your first round pick, and he's doing everything. I've seen him growing up and kind of at Duke, like his last month where he was scoring 30 in the tournament, and he's really just capitalized off of that and now making an opportunity out of it.
Yeah, I agree. I like Jared McCain. Uh, like you said, he was given an opportunity, unfortunately, with some of the stars out for the Sixers. So he's making the best out of his opportunity, and he's gonna be a really good guard for a
Yeah,
long time in the league.
yeah, I think between the two of those guys and Jalen Wells, I forget what team he plays for, but I know
I
he
want to say the Memphis.
Memphis. Okay, yeah, yeah, but I know he's been playing good as well because I think they were dealing with injuries
I
as
would
well.
say John Morant's
Yeah,
out, so
yeah, John Morant's still been out. Marcus Smart is old. I mean, still there, but
he's a little older, a little banged up.
yeah. But getting into like the Commissioner Cup, like we kind of or what's it called? Not the Commissioner Cup.
It's
That's
like
WNBA.
Commissioner Cup's WNBA. It's
Yeah,
like the NBA Cup or something like that.
yeah. But that started a couple weeks ago. I think Warriors are might be undefeated and they're
Yeah, Lakers undefeated.
yeah,
I'm not really sure how the East is looking,
yeah.
but the East isn't looking too good this year. There's only like two teams over 500,
I really think just what Celtics and Cavs.
Celtics and Cavs. Everyone else has
Yeah,
a losing
they're just
record.
dealing with injuries, I guess, on that side, on the East. But
But it's like
Sixers are 2 and
Milwaukee's not
0.
hurt.
Yeah,
Milwaukee is just,
yeah, they're
but also they have Darvin Ham and Doc Rivers, so it's like
yeah,
it's not looking too good over in the East. But the West, it seems like everything is about a
every
game or two behind
yeah, like
each other.
OKC, but they got Chet hurt, but
Yeah,
they're still good. Denver, Joker's
yeah,
out right now, but
he's been out with some personal things.
yeah, but the West is still loaded.
Oh, of course.
KD's gonna come back like within the next week or so. Uh, it's I'm sure. I mean, I think it's going to be whoever knocks off, obviously the Celtics, but the West, I just can't really see anybody not winning the championship this year. But we'll see. At early season with like a month in, there's still a lot of ball left. So,
Oh yeah.
uh, but yeah, now getting into I'll go WNBA now. The lottery happened on Sunday. Unfortunate for us Sparks fans that we don't get the number one pick. I think everyone just thought it was gonna be
It's like
right.
everyone knew like the Sparks were
Yeah,
getting that
I think it
number.
was and it was just gonna be so perfect. Paige, Cambry, Rakia coming on, just the perfect young
Man,
group.
oh my God.
New coach. We hire a new coach, and now, yes. But the Dallas Wings get the first pick. More than likely going to take Page.
I'm
Uh,
sure.
Sparks second pick. Sky third pick.
Unless, unless,
Mystic fourth pick. Unless I don't see
unless
it going back.
there's only two options. I feel like I'm gonna just put it out there. It's only two things. Paige takes her fifth year, fifth or sixth year.
I think it's year six. Yeah,
Yeah,
I
Paige
I don't
takes
see
that
it.
sixth year. I mean, with NIL,
Yeah,
what
yeah,
that is building
100%.
right now, it's
But
like you almost have to think about taking that 6 year.
with Gino becoming an all-time winning coach today, I, I
They have
feel
nothing to
like
play
he's
with
gone.
about UConn.
I think this might be his last year championship or not. Like Tara went out with the title. She knew
Mhm.
Gino was going to pass her. I don't see him really coaching another year. If Paige goes back, yes, but I I don't know. I mean, Sarah Strong, freshman, uh, but yeah, I just don't see it. And then even if she does enter the draft, you think she pulls a Eli Manning and kind of, tells them not to pick her?
Exactly.
I don't know. That'd be interesting. I
I
know.
feel like it really depends on if Satu leaves Dallas. I
Yeah,
think that really, I feel like that has a really that has a factor on
huge
Dallas'
factor. Yeah,
decision.
yeah,
I mean, Satu's your second best player, can arguably be first, depends on who you're asking.
yeah.
I feel like Satu's departure will really play a huge factor in Dallas' decision if they want to replace her with Kiki or do they want to go, a good backcourt with Enrique and Paige.
That'd be interesting. I mean, I think that'd be a whole conversation all from now
You have
until
Natasha Howard leaving as well. So it's
yeah,
like it's a lot of things that you have to discuss when you're Dallas. New GM, they still haven't picked their coach
yeah,
out yet. So
mhm. Yeah. And so, like I said, it'll be a conversation from now until April when
yeah.
when the draft is. So we'll see. But now getting into college football, the new 12 team bracket came out on yesterday, actually. Oregon's still undefeated, so they're at the one spot,
You
clinched the
already
Big
punched the
Ten.
ticket for the Big
Yep,
12.
yep, Big Ten championship
Oh,
ticket
you too.
punch.
Sorry.
Two spot Texas, SEC. I that could be an argument. There's a whole bunch of two lost teams there, so you know, then the three Miami with the only one loss, and then Boise State four because BYU loses,
Mhm.
they get in top. This obviously won't play out. This is just
This is
the
just speculations of
projected,
where
yeah,
it's at right now.
the projections. So the 5-12 matchup, five being Ohio State, and then 12 being BYU. Uh, that'd be nasty. Then the 6-11 Penn State, 11 Georgia, 6 Penn State, 7 Indiana, 10 Ole Miss, and then the 8-9 Notre Dame, Alabama. Um, Honestly, the only thing that really this is obviously going to change, but what stands out to me is if Indiana loses this weekend to Ohio State, I think they're done. They're going to be out of it. Even with the one loss. Like the committee, we all know the SEC bias. We're going
Mhm.
to keep saying that probably every episode until this gets cleared. But they have no quality wins. They are undefeated, yes. But if they lose to Ohio State, their best win,
Well,
Michigan.
probably, yeah, but then it's like Michigan isn't Michigan.
Yeah, exactly. So, and that was a 5-point victory. So their best win goes to like the defending champs, yes, but after that, I think all their other wins in the Big Ten are the bottom six teams. So, they beat Nebraska. That's not a big win anymore. Like, so it leaves you like to think, you know, I think
It's almost
obviously,
as it's almost as if last year with Florida State, like they didn't have
yeah,
any quality wins. Like like they were undefeated, yeah, but it's like who did you guys play against?
and the injury of your quarterback.
Yes.
Yeah, so I think they'll take probably a fifth uh Ole Miss team. I know Tennessee would love that to happen
Hmm.
because they're not in it. But obviously that Big 12 champion is going to get that fourth spot. Boise State is just a filler right now because the Big 12 has the 2-1
Almost
loss.
at that at large.
Yeah, so the BYU and Colorado, if they both win out, they'll be in Arlington playing each other for
Hmm.
that fourth seed and seeing who who really um can get that fourth, maybe even third, because ACC is kind of shaky too because SMU has only one loss in general and they're undefeated in ACC play.
Yeah.
Miami lost to who was it again?
Then they lose to Georgia Tech.
Yeah,
No.
Georgia
Yeah,
Tech.
Georgia
Yeah,
Tech.
yeah, yeah, Georgia Tech. So if SMU wins out, plays Miami in the ACC championship, that
And when
they
that,
could
then they
get
got
in
that.
there.
Yeah.
Yeah. So and then like we mentioned before, SMU's only losses to BYU. So Notre Dame, they've got a big game this weekend. Army, another undefeated school,
The
probably
Army's undefeated as
yeah,
well.
probably won't crack the the college football playoffs, but they're just playing to play, and that's you
And
know
keep their record strong.
yeah, exactly. So um, that'd be a good one. No really top SEC matchups. I think we already mentioned Indiana, Ohio State, but
Yeah,
BYU, ASU at ASU, that'd be a good one
that
too
would be a
because
big game.
they're both ranked 14 and 21. Arizona State has already knocked off Utah earlier and they were okay. They beat I can't remember, but I mean they only have like a one couple losses in the Big 12 too. They could get in there as well, depending on,
Yeah.
Colorado, KU. We saw KU beat BYU. That's what put them out of that.
Hmm.
And the worst part about it is those are two road games for BYU and Colorado.
Especially coming off that loss to Kansas, they're looking to play very hard,
Yeah,
trying to get back into that playoff picture. Although they haven't like left, but
yeah,
just to just to solidify their name into that playoff picture. Of
yeah. And KU, they could be spoilers 3 weeks in a row.
course, yeah.
They could, there's still opportunity for them to make it, but not it's an outside chance. But if they keep, they knock off, they already did Iowa State 2 weeks ago, BYU, Colorado. So,
And they knocking on everybody's door,
yeah. So, to play the Jayhawks is going to be tough, especially, you know,
especially in this house.
yeah, especially at Kansas or Arrowhead Stadium, whatever. But yeah, and then yeah, I really think Georgia I don't think they're having a fair chance because they beat Texas. No
Yeah.
other, no other team has done that yet.
Hmm.
Um, so them at 11, oh wait, no, they lost to Ole Miss. That was a bad loss. Yeah, I agree. But I mean they beat Texas. I feel like Ole Miss, I don't think they're capable of beating Texas. But then
No,
again,
but
it's the
especially
SEC.
with a lot of their injuries,
Yeah.
they
Uh,
gotta get healthy.
Bama, they really haven't really looked good. I think their best win is LSU. I
That's
mean, Georgia
dominant.
as well. But like, I mean, they didn't look good that last second half of that Georgia game. But that LSU game was a really good quality game for
That
them.
was a very dominant win in the
Yeah.
SEC.
Yeah. And at LSU, right?
Yeah, Death Valley.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's
So
they even bought the Tiger out.
yeah, they did. So like I said, like, this is all projection. I think the real one comes out. So next weekend is the last games of the week or last games of regular season. So maybe what would it be like that Sunday? So maybe December 3rd, 4th. I'm not sure.
Maybe probably beginning of December.
Yeah, so it'd be that Sunday, maybe the 8th or the uh, well, yeah, I think it's December 8th. We'll probably get the real
Yeah,
bracket.
that's that Sunday the 8th.
Yeah, so we'll see. Uh yeah, so now NFL, really not anything going on. The Jets fired their general manager.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think it's just, it really
I feel like
unfortunate.
they're trying to figure out what they want to do with that
Yeah,
organization right now. You had the head coach firing a few weeks ago, and now a GM firing. I don't think that GM firing was really necessary. I mean, I feel like they drafted well recently,
yeah,
with Garrett Wilson. Zach Wilson, unfortunately, I feel like it wasn't a terrible draft pick, but like you expected him to do so much so soon.
yeah,
You give him time to develop. You have I can't think of his name right now, but Johnson that's on the defense. Unfortunately, he got hurt this year. Jermaine Johnson, I want to
yeah,
say his name.
yeah, yeah,
It's like you've been drafted, Brandon Allen, Brees Hall. You've been drafting very well, so
yeah,
it's like I don't understand really the general manager firing, but I think personally it was a owner and general manager clash where they weren't really seeing eye to eye, and that's where that fire can come from.
yeah. It, they were in a rebuild process. They threw in all of their cards to get Aaron Rodgers,
Yeah.
Devontae Adams, and then with those draft pieces, like they've done a great job. It's just, excuse me, they haven't, capitalized off of it, and now,
And it's good quarterback play. I mean,
yeah,
you you you're 40 plus years old and you're expected to carry this
they're
team to
offense
like
franchise coming
yeah.
off a torn Achilles. Yeah,
It's like you're expecting Aaron Rodgers to do a lot, and it's just not gonna happen, right? Like it's not gonna happen. I think it's time to look towards the future, draft yourself a quarterback, and you guys figure it out from there.
yeah. So they'll probably have at least a top 8 pick.
Yeah,
New head coach, new general manager, new quarterback, probably. So, they're going to look to the draft to a quarterback. There's a lot of options. There's, Shador, Cam Ward,
yeah.
Quinn Ewers if he comes out, Carson Beck. I'm
Hasn't been
not
playing
sure.
that great, but you got Jalen Milrow. You
Yeah,
got a lot of
Jalen
players.
Milroe. Yeah, they've got some guys there they're gonna look at, but they also got, Jordan Travis in their back pocket. I don't think he's a franchise guy, but um,
Might be the
he,
2v2.
yeah, he could be a good backup. Help kind of see what their future is going to be because they got the weapons. Garrett,
Yeah, for sure.
Garrett Wilson, Brees Hall, Braylon Allen, Devontae Adams, even. Um, I think you get consistent O line play, maybe get a good tight end.
Mhm.
And I think they could continue to compete with the Bills in that division. Dolphins,
Yep.
Patriots are
They're
still
just not that far behind. They just need
yeah,
themselves a wide receiver one. You
yeah,
know, they almost need something similar from the Jets except for quarterback play.
yeah, exactly. Yeah, so now that brings us into the picks again. Um, Starting off tomorrow night, uh, Pittsburgh at Cleveland. Pittsburgh off a big, big division win against the Ravens. Cleveland lost to New Orleans. Um, I'm scared, honestly.
Trap
Um,
game, trap game.
I don't want to think of it as a trap game. It's just your division. And
This is a division game. Everyone's playing
yeah,
hard.
and Mike Tomlin, I think he's 0-7 on Thursday night on the road against division opponents or something like that. It's gonna be a nasty weather game. Cleveland, they have nothing to lose. They're 2-8.
Yeah.
Their coach thinks he's not on the hot seat. Maybe not. Just depends
Yeah.
on what could happen. But I'm gonna go Pittsburgh still. Russell's still finding he's continued to get his groove on. Pickens has looked dominant. Najee continued to run
So
really well. The really downside of it is really consistency, trying to
it's
not,
really, I feel like it's the play calling consistency.
yeah, yeah,
So,
not relying too much on the deep ball. Like it's gonna happen because we got George Pickens, but I don't want it to be every time you like we got to get Pat Freiermuth involved because
try to
with
get Mike Williams involved. I
yeah,
mean, like you went out and traded for Mike Williams. I think you guys should incorporate him more into the offense as well. Even like like you said, Najee, you got Najee. I feel like you just gotta be creative.
yeah,
Try to try to get Calvin Austin in some of that screenplay. Don't always depend on that
that
48
yeah,
haymaker
yeah,
down.
yeah, I agree.
So,
But Cleveland they still have a top defense. Denzel Ward has been playing out of his mind. Miles Garrett,
mhm,
they still got a pretty good defense. They were a top defense last year. But if we create turnovers on Jameis, I think it'll be a good day.
dominant one.
Yeah.
I agree. I
Okay.
gotta stop.
Going Sunday, Minnesota at Chicago. Minnesota rocky win against the Jags. Chicago.
Chicago, they could have beat Green Bay if it wasn't for that block field goal.
Yeah.
Um, you know, that offensive coordinator firing seemed like it worked pretty well the first game. Um, we haven't really seen any big splash plays from Jettas recently.
Mhm.
I don't Obviously you're not gonna figure him out. Like he's the best receiver and like he's obviously a top three receiver, so you're not gonna figure him out, but he hasn't really been having that really like 100+ yard games recently.
Mhm.
So and you got Jalen Johnson on the other side guarding him. I think it's gonna be a really good game. I want to go with Chicago that game.
Okay. Yeah, like you mentioned, Chicago, the firing of their offensive coordinator. I think if Caleb trusts Keenan Allen and DJ Moore a lot more, other than just putting Roma Dunze on all of it,
Hmm.
like I mentioned, kind of with kind of like with the Jets, they have the weapons, but young quarterback this time.
Yeah.
They got three capable wide receivers, a really good tight end, and DeAndre Swift who's come along. If they are able to run the ball better,
Yep.
um,
Wait, I'm sorry. I want to take my pick back. I keep forgetting about that Vikings defense.
yeah,
They're crazy. I'm gonna go Vikings. That that
okay.
that scheming defense is crazy.
I'm a, I'm gonna take your pick. I'm gonna go Chicago because I feel like if Caleb Williams just settles in,
Yeah, like just
maybe
relax.
yeah, just settle in the game.
I want Chicago to win, but I don't know. That
Yeah,
Vikings, I always forget about that Vikings
I think
defense.
I'm gonna go Chicago because Bears defense isn't that off.
Yeah,
It's
they're not that bad either. Like
yeah,
they're not terrible.
yeah. I think I'm gonna go Chicago. Um, Next game would be Detroit at Indianapolis. Detroit blowout.
Yeah. We
Uh,
don't even need to talk about it. It's Detroit. They're the hottest team right now.
in Indianapolis, big win against the Jets. So
Detroit.
Detroit,
They might,
yeah,
they might put 50 on them.
yeah. Even in Indianapolis,
Yeah.
Detroit
Don't
in
matter.
indoor stadium.
Don't
It,
matter.
I don't know how they've gotten so many indoor stadium games. I think they've played one game outdoor. Like that's
Yeah.
just unheard of. Like
Don't
either
matter.
at their house in Houston, Indianapolis, Detroit indoors is like, yeah. New England at Miami. Um,
Both terrible teams, but
yeah,
um, I'm gonna go Miami.
yeah. I think I'll go Miami
They
too.
just need to get. They just my concern with Miami. They need to get you paid Jalen Waddle for what? You're not using him,
Yeah, they're not at all, and that's coming from me because he's on my fantasy team.
and
Um,
I feel like Mike McDaniel's needs to open up that playbook.
yeah. I think with the bleak run game of theirs, the defense just knows it's either going to Tyreek or maybe Jonnu Smith because he's taking all of Waddle's targets. So,
Yeah.
and I think right now it's still just trying to ease Tua into not getting pressure too much. So
Mhm.
just dumping it off to on
To
screenplays
get him.
and tight ends.
Yeah.
But yeah, Miami, I think. Um, Tampa Bay at the Giants.
I'm gonna go Tampa Bay.
Yeah,
Giants. Giants. What they put Daniel Jones all the way to QB4.
yeah. Uh, Tommy DeVito starting.
Yeah, and then you got Mike Evans coming back.
Mike
So
Evans coming back. Yeah, I think Tampa Bay
Buccaneers
too.
aren't a bad team. I like it. Buccaneers over there.
Yeah, the Bucky Irvin, Rashad White, She
They got
White.
a three-headed snake back there in that running back position.
Yeah, even Baker can move a little bit. So I think Tampa Bay wins as well. Just Giants. They I know they try to do something to spark their season, at least from the last few games. Brian Daboll knows his job may be on the line, so
Yeah.
but I just don't see them being Tampa Bay. Um, then we got Dallas at Washington.
Washington.
Yeah,
Dallas low key Dallas low key throwing in the towel, which
yeah,
is understandable. You got Dak out, CD's a little banged up. Uh, Cooper Rush is. There's been some conversations on if Trey Lance should play. Um, Washington. Washington's been playing very well.
yeah. Washington on a two-game losing streak from from the Steelers and the Eagles.
I
I
hate
think
to see
they're
this
desperate
game.
for a win. They need this one because if they lose, they still got I think they still got Dallas again, and
Yeah, I
they
think they still play Philly again as well. Like
yeah. So they got to get this win at home. Um,
they
J-
might even have the Giants again.
no, I think they played them twice already. They played them early, and then they played a couple few weeks back. I think they're done with the Giants, but yeah, Washington needs this win big time. So I'm gonna
Yep.
go Washington. Jaden Daniels continue, you know, make
Yeah.
stride.
Uh,
Brian Robinson,
got his rookie of the year campaign going. So yeah, Washington.
yeah. Kansas City at Carolina.
KC, man.
Yeah. They take their first loss against the Buffalo Bills. I know they're gonna come back trying to, get back in the win column against the bottom two team in the NFL.
Yeah.
It is in Carolina, but I don't see, that being any different. Mahomes has been turning
Uh-huh.
over the ball a bunch, so I know Andy Reid and him are gonna try to limit.
Pacheco's back.
Yeah, Pacheco's gonna be back. Um, Travis Kelsey wasn't involved at all last week, so I know they're gonna try
They
to get
try to get
him.
him involved, of
Yeah,
course.
yep.
Yeah, they see.
Kansas City, Tennessee at Houston.
I'm gonna go Houston.
Yeah,
Nico
Houston.
Collins back.
Houston didn't really look good Monday night against the Cowboys, but their defense got a late turnover that kind of put the game to bed. But
Will Anderson's still out right now.
yeah,
I'm gonna go Houston. Joe Mixon is
yeah,
hey man. Joe Mixon is playing out of his mind, and he's not getting the type of credit that Saquon and Derrick Henry is getting. And I
yeah,
feel
I
like
agree.
I feel like obviously they're the two of the best running backs in the game, but what he's doing for that Houston offense, he's carrying them.
Yeah,
Like he had three
especially
touchdowns last week against Dallas.
yeah, he did.
Yeah,
Especially with a bad O line. I think that's why CJ kind of not playing as well because
yeah.
he knows. He even said in the interview, I think it was like a mistake, obviously, but he said, we win or lose with the O line. Then he said, "Oh, my bad, just win." But he knows he's hearing everything with the reporters. I mean, he
Yeah.
knows what he has day in and
They
week.
say he played with them every day.
Yeah,
Like he knows
exactly.
what he.
So he knows that they're struggling, and you know, the run game has been very, very good. So with Joe Mixon, like you said, he's underrated, especially coming in um, to this new team, and I think he's jump started a lot of their games really since he's been back from injury. Um, but yeah, Houston, Denver at the Raiders, Las Vegas.
Hey, Denver's playing so crazy right now.
Yeah,
Denver's playing really good ball right now.
yeah.
They had, like a dominant win against the Atlanta Falcons last week.
Hmm.
The Atlanta Falcons aren't a terrible team. Like they're a pretty good team.
Hmm.
Oh, Knicks had what, 4 touchdowns.
Yeah,
Raiders are still trying to figure out who they want to start. And
yeah,
yeah. Denver's defense crazy. I'm gonna go Denver with that game.
yeah. Um, yeah, but Bo Nix has really made this offensive rookie of the year a conversation now. I think
Yeah.
it was Jaden Daniels early. Now it's Bo Nix. I think it's similar to kind of what happened last year with the CJ Stroud and Puka Nacua, two
Mhm.
different positions, but um, yeah, they're both dominant. And Bo Nix, I think he's really unlocked what Sean Payton wanted to do.
With Russell,
Wilson, yeah, yeah, get everybody involved. It's not just a one man show. It's
Mhm.
not,
Even
they,
taking it yourself if you have to.
yeah, like he's mobile and Russ has lacked that the past few years of his career. So now you got Bo Nix and he can throw, run, do whatever. He's scoring, receiving touchdowns too. So it's like he's unlocked everything. And getting everybody involved is what Sean Payton wanted. And like you said, the defense. And the crazy thing is, when I like early season, I thought they were not going to be a good defense. I thought it was just Patrick Surtain,
Yeah.
but they've completely shut me up and really put everybody on notice. So I really like that. And then going back to Vegas, it's really just a two-man kind of show. Just get them the ball.
Just give Brock,
Defensively,
just give Brock and
Brock
Madison the
Bowers
ball.
and Jock. Yeah, Mayer maybe, but Jacoby Myers, yeah.
Yeah.
Really just get those dudes the ball, and if we lose, we lose because we're going after Shador. that's,
Shador.
that's what they're gonna
Yeah,
do,
Shador will be a Las Vegas
right?
Raider.
And I wouldn't be surprised, if Antonio Pierce is gone too, but it's too early for that. I don't
Yeah.
want I don't want to put his job in jeopardy, but it's just what he's been dealt with is
Yeah,
nothing.
you got to play the cards that you were dealt with, and it
Yeah,
wasn't a good deck.
yeah, at all. Um, then we get to your 49ers at Green Bay.
I don't know, man. I don't know. I feel like the Niners, they have to go into every game now with we have to win or we're done. So, you got Kittle back this week. CMC still trying to get his legs underneath himself. Oh my gosh, don't get me started with Debo Samuel. I don't know what that brother's doing out there. But uh, you know, I'm gonna go with the Niners.
Yeah,
Hopefully, we get that win. Uh, Brock has been playing, the same. There's no up or down with him. But Green Bay, they almost lost to
Chicago.
the Bears last week. If it wasn't for that blocked field goal, um, Jordan Love is low key, not even low key, but turnover machine. So
Yeah,
if the Niners can create some turnovers, it also depends on if Nick Bosa's playing. No status on that recently, but you got to create turnovers, especially with Jordan Love, and he's wanting to give it to you too.
yeah. Um, I agree. I think Niners, they recently have owned Green Bay. Whether it's at Green Bay or San Francisco. Typically, it's sometimes at home games, but they've brought them to them. But like you mentioned, the turnovers, but I think it's the flip side. On like, yes, Jordan Love is a turnover machine, but that Packers defense creates turnovers as well. I think they
Yeah,
lead the NFL in turnovers. So if the 49ers continue to minimize those turnovers, um, because sometimes Brock Purdy can get a little off schedule and,
yeah.
and give you some easy ones. So if you don't test Xavier McKinney,
Oh
God,
yeah,
yeah.
yeah. No, I
So
don't even think about it, and I don't even think Jair's playing. So it's really,
yeah,
um,
yeah. So you gotta Debo has to have a good game. He always plays good against the Seahawks. Last week he didn't. So hopefully he has that bounce back game. Hopefully it gives you like a reminder of like that game he played last year in Philly. Ooh, that'd be special. That'd be special. I would love that game. If Debo, bounced back. I hope a big Jawan Jennings game too. Continue to get him the ball because
oh
he's
yeah, for sure. Jawan's gonna give it to you.
yeah, he's as dominant as the rest. So I really that's gonna be a good game. I know everyone's gonna watch it. So uh next is Arizona at Seattle.
Division game.
Yeah.
Arizona's been playing pretty. Arizona's been playing well. Seattle's coming off that big win against the 49ers.
Mhm.
Down most of the game, come back. Gino's doing the night celebration and all that. So, Gino's feeling himself. So I'm gonna go Arizona this game. Uh Arizona's been playing really well. College been playing really well. James Conner, my gosh, playing really well as well. So I would say Arizona. I would also like if they get Marvin Harrison involved more.
Yeah, yeah, 100%. Um this was hard for me because I know
Very hard.
it's in Seattle and they've both been playing decently good. I mean, Cardinals really good. Seattle is like a up and down.
Yeah.
Um, DK's back. Was he involved much last week? I can't remember.
Uh, I mean, probably like about 60, 70 yards. So yeah.
I mean, yeah,
But Jackson Smith,
Najigba, yeah, he's really getting involved. I think I really like this offense, especially for him because it's similar kind of to like what he did at Ohio State because it's just the college offense. I'm not saying it's a college offense, but like when guys that are offensive coordinators and they come from a college, they add the dynamic impact to it, and
yeah, so
he was just there. So
it's almost it's almost as if you have like two great receivers, but you can low key hide one.
yeah,
Where
exactly.
and it's like a surprise. Not really a surprise, but like you know what he could do, but like you also don't know when he's gonna do it.
Yeah, exactly. And Gino's really looking for him. So I really like this matchup. I think
It
I'm a,
depends on what type of Geno you get.
yeah, it really does. But I think I might have to go Seattle. I just told a particular somebody Arizona before this, but as I think about it, I think Seattle because if okay, it's just like every other offense. If you get your running back involved, it eases up the passing game. Kenneth
Mhm.
Kenneth Walker has been down, but I think against this Arizona team, he could
He can
be
run around.
efficient. Yeah, he could be efficient. So I think I'm gonna go Seattle. Since it's in Seattle, and they're trying to just make this a three team race. A Rams is kind of there. We're gonna get there.
Okay. Hey, it's low key a four. Hey,
Yeah, it could still be a 14 race. Just yeah. So I know they're our next matchup. So I think I'm gonna go Seattle. And then last Sunday night matchup will be Philadelphia at the Rams.
I'm gonna go Philly. Um, I'm gonna go Philly. Jalen Hurts. You know he kind of lowered his turn down, his turnover, like his turnovers a lot.
Yeah,
And then you also have Saquon. You know, Saquon get you down to the 1 yard line. They're gonna push Mister Hurts in.
yeah,
But I'm gonna say, you know, AJ Brown's been playing well. Devontae. I'm gonna say Philly,
yeah.
but also he Matt Stafford is almost like that old reliable.
Mhm.
Like you always know, like he's gonna give it to you. Like he's like an old reliable. Like you can depend on him.
Yeah.
So it's gonna be a good game, but I'm gonna say Philly.
Yeah, me too. Honestly, with the way that defense has been playing, kind of shut down the last few opponents they played. Um,
What's his name? Mitchell.
yeah, Quinn and Mitchell, Cooper, DeJean,
Yeah.
uh, they just have guys over there that really, bring it to you
Hmm.
defensively.
They got
And
a young defense.
and the Matt Stafford is always bound to give you one, two
Yeah, I agree.
turnovers. So
I agree.
with the ways Eagles are playing right now, Jalen Hurts mentioned
Not hard to
he's been
stop.
really efficient running the ball, passing the ball, and then you add Saquon running the ball. And in the pass game, along with AJ Brown, you got Dallas Goddard back.
It's kind of hard to stop.
Yeah, so I don't think the Rams have anything defensively that could stop the Eagles' offense. Byron Young's really good. Kobe
Uh,
Turner's really good.
Verse. What's his name? Verse.
Yeah,
Jason
Jared
Verse.
Verse is really good. Braden Fisk, those guys.
He might get defensive player. He might get rookie defensive player of the year.
Yeah,
How well?
yeah, yeah, for sure. Him or Quinn and Mitchell.
Yeah.
That'd be a good matchup. Um, I okay, I'm gonna go back momentarily to when I picked my my picks. Oh, I did not write them down. Oh, yes, I did. Okay, so for defensive rookie of the year, oh, I picked Latu Latu. He had a good start, but I threw in a okay, we'll talk about this after. Okay. Anyways, yeah, I got Philly though. Okay, to end off Monday night, Baltimore at the Chargers. So at SoFi two back-to-back primetime games. Ravens coming off the loss, Chargers coming off a almost,
Oh, that was a thriller.
yeah,
Almost to the Bengals. Chargers are playing well. Ravens are playing well. I'm gonna go Baltimore in that game. I'm gonna go Baltimore in that game
Yeah,
only because the Chargers defense is I think they're pretty good, but like they have some mishaps. And you
yeah,
can't have any mishaps with Lamar Jackson and Derrick Henry.
I agree.
So
Yeah.
I'm gonna go Derrick Henry and the Ravens for that game.
Mhm.
And especially you got an angry Ravens team. They're losing. They no offense to your team, but they lost to a team that didn't score a touchdown at all
Yeah.
that whole game. So, they're playing a little angry, and I'm gonna go with the Ravens.
Yeah, that's going to be a good matchup. I think the Ravens win as well. Hopefully, the Chargers do win, but it's going to be the same team playing each other. Is
Yeah,
that's what it's going to come down to. They play the exact same. Harbaugh versus
yeah.
Harbaugh. They steal each other's players. Like, you
And
know,
then it's like, go ahead.
Greg Roman, former offensive coordinator for Lamar, now Justin Herbert. They play the exact same. They have, J.K. Dobbins' revenge game. Like it's the exact same team. Um, but
I'm
I
gonna agree
think
with you.
I just think the upper hand goes to Baltimore. Um, but I
It's
wouldn't be
almost
surprised.
identical.
Yeah, yeah, they're the
It's
same.
almost identical. It's like you have a mobile quarterback,
Mhm.
pretty dominant running back, dominant season running back.
Yeah,
Then you got Ladd, and then you got
Ray
Bateman.
Flowers.
I
Yeah,
mean,
Ray Flowers. Yeah,
Dave Howard or Bateman. Then you have,
Missy has been playing out of his mind. Mark Andrews.
yeah. So it's like it's almost identical. So it's like it's gonna be a really good game.
hmm I would say Quinn Johnson and Rashad Bateman.
Yeah,
Like they're the same exact team. They're built the same.
and
They
it's
they
like
both
your best player is your backfield with your quarterback and your running back, and it's
exactly
like you throw not to call them randoms, but then you just throw it to a random receiver and they gonna catch it.
yeah.
Like
And then they both have two gadget running back twos. Gus Edwards, former Raven, and then Justin
Justin
Fields.
Hill.
Yeah, so
Like
it's like they're the same team. It really is going to come down to really the defense. I think.
defense. Yep.
Quincy Minter, Zach Orr. We saw Zach Orr not allow touchdowns to Russell Wilson.
It really, really depends on if Smith plays.
Roquan
Roquan,
Smith. Oh yeah,
yeah, I know he went out that last game against Pittsburgh, so with a hamstring injury. So that's a key factor as well.
yeah. That's going to be a good game. At least I'll be home to watch it, so
Yeah.
it'll be fun. Um, but yeah, going back to the defensive rookie of the year situation, a dark horse for me. I don't have it on here, but I remember saying it was Peyton Wilson and what he did on Sunday was amazing. He really turned that game around
Yeah.
because Russell Wilson, god awful turnover.
Yeah.
I mean, I think it was a misunderstanding. Darnell Washington thinks I think he thought he was throwing it out of bounds, but he still doesn't make a play on the ball. Yes, bad turnover, but that
The ball
interception,
for
strip, whatever you want to call it, they
yeah.
gave it an interception. That play on the ball just turned the game around because
They could have been in score position.
yeah, that
There.
that
Yeah.
play alone, I think that was at least to the 50. And Justin Tucker was struggling, but I think as the game got tighter, he would have locked in a little more.
Yeah.
That was a perfect turnover. And I hate to say my picks look terrible as I'm looking at these because I had CJ Stroud MVP, CMC Offensive Player of the Year, TJ Watt Defensive Player of the Year. That could still go either way. Comeback player, I don't know if he's eligible, but I put Joe Burrow. He could probably get that.
It's gonna be
Coach of
JK,
the
I
year,
think.
huh?
I like JK for comeback player of the year.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I like him as well. Um, Coach of the year, I put D'Amico Ryans. No, I think Tomlin maybe gets that. Um,
Yeah.
Offensive rookie of the year, I didn't even pick a quarterback. I put Marvin Harrison Jr. and then defensive rookie of the year. I did Latu. But I mean, I guess good thing those are early picks because
Yeah.
I thought I had a chance. CJ Stroud, just with the injuries, he probably had a chance as well. Um, but yeah,
Just the unfortunate part of the game is the injuries.
exactly. Um, yeah, I think that'll wrap up our episode. It's gonna be a big week 12, a lot of good games. I really like that, like we talked about the Niners and Packers matchup. That's always a good one. So
Yeah.
just
Little rivalry.
and then like we mentioned, the Monday night game. Um, yeah, that those would be some good matchups. Looking forward to um this weekend in all sports, college football, NBA, NFL, whatever else may be on. Oh, women's basketball. Uh,
Can't forget about Notre Dame and SC, man.
that we didn't mention that, but that's going to be some big games this weekend, and
UCLA, South Carolina.
yeah,
You can see Notre Dame. It's gonna be two good games, you know.
yeah,
Got Juju versus Hannah,
hmm
South Carolina, defending champs versus UCLA.
yeah,
A really good team. Not sure if Kiki Rice is back, but that's gonna be still gonna be a very good game.
yeah. I think she played the other day, limited minutes, but that'll
Yeah.
be. But she knows she got this big game coming up. LA is going to be popping this weekend. Two NFL games, two college football. I mean, two college women's basketball games. USC, UCLA football.
Yep.
Um, yeah,
A
LA.
lot.
Uh, well,
Olu, Bosco.
yeah, that'll be a good game too. Honestly, I
Oh
mean,
yeah, for sure it's gonna be a good
yeah,
game.
I mean, Olu didn't win last time they played, but it was a close one.
They can get it
Uh,
done.
yeah, um, it'll be interesting to see those all those final scores.
Hmm.
We got to figure out something next week because we'll be together. I don't
Yeah.
I don't know how that'll work. Um, we'll figure something out. But yeah, this concludes another episode of Life in Sports Spotlight with Cameron Knox, and we'll see you guys next week.